Commander Yuna stood on the bridge of her massive ship, the Sovereignty. Her purple skin gleamed under the bright lights. Her 4 arms moved quickly across the control panels. She was the leader of the biggest fleet in Altarian history. 200 ships followed her command. All of them were heading to the Vega sector. The Vega sector was perfect for a new colony. It had 3 planets with water. The soil was rich. The air was clean. The Altarian people needed this new home. Their old planet was getting too crowded. "Commander," said Lieutenant Minho. He was young but smart. His green eyes showed worry. "We have a message coming in. It's from a human ship." Yuna's face twisted. With disgust, humans were weak creatures. They only had 2 arms. Their technology was old and simple. They were nothing compared to the great Altarian race. "Put it through," she said. Her voice was cold. The screen flickered. A human face appeared. He looked tired. His brown hair was messy. His eyes were serious. "This is Captain Jinwoo of the human ship Resilience," he said. "I need to speak with your commander." "I am Commander Yuna," she replied. Her voice was full of pride. "What do you want, human?" Captain Jinwoo took a deep breath. "Commander, you cannot go into the Vega sector. It's too dangerous. My ship has been watching that area for months. There are quantum storms there." Yuna laughed. The sound was sharp and mean. "Quantum storms? Our sensors show nothing. Your human technology is too weak to understand what you see." "Please listen," Jinwoo said. His voice was urgent. "These storms are not normal. They happen when certain stars line up. They create tears in space and time. Ships get trapped. They never come out." Behind Captain Jinwoo, a woman appeared. She had short black hair and kind eyes. "My name is Heun," she said. "I am a science officer. We have studied these storms for years. They follow a pattern." Yuna's 4 arms crossed over her chest. "Patterns? You humans see patterns in everything. You are afraid of shadows." "Commander," Heun continued, 3 human fleets went into that sector before. None of them came back. We lost 15,000 people. We learned the hard way. "That's because human ships are weak," Yuna said. Her voice was getting louder. "Altarian technology is 1,000 years ahead of yours. Our shields are perfect. Our engines are the fastest in the galaxy. Your little storms cannot hurt us." Lieutenant Minho stepped closer. "Commander, maybe we should listen. What if they are right?" Yuna turned to face him. Her eyes burned with anger. "Are you questioning my judgment, Lieutenant?" Minho stepped back. "No, Commander, I just think you think too much." Yuna cut him off. "The Altarian Council chose me to lead this mission. They trust my skills. They trust our technology." Captain Jinwoo tried again. "Commander Yuna, I have been in space for 20 years. I have seen things that your computers cannot detect. Please, turn your fleet around. Wait for the storms to pass." "How long?" Yuna asked with a sneer. 6 months, Heun answered. "The stellar alignment changes every 6 months. Then it will be safe." Yuna laughed again. 6 months? Do you think we are fools? Our people need that colony now. We will not wait because humans are scared of empty space. The bridge grew quiet. All the Altarian officers watched their commander. Some looked worried. Others nodded in agreement. "Commander," Captain Jinwoo said, "I am begging you. Turn back. The quantum storms will start in 3 days. If you are in the sector when they begin, you will be trapped." "Trapped?" Yuna's voice was full of mockery. "Nothing can trap an Altarian fleet. We have phase shifters. We have quantum navigation. We have technology you cannot even dream of." Heun leaned forward. "Technology cannot fight the basic laws of physics. When space and time bend, your ships will be helpless." "You dare tell me about physics?" Yuna's anger exploded. "Altarians discovered quantum travel when humans were still crawling in mud. We built cities in space when you were afraid to leave your little planet." Captain Jinwoo's face showed sadness. "Pride is a dangerous thing in space, Commander. It has killed more people than any weapon." "Our pride is earned," Yuna shot back. We are superior in every way. Your warnings mean nothing to us. Lieutenant Minho cleared his throat. Commander, what if we just delay the mission by a week? We could study their data. Enough, Yuna shouted. Her 4 fists slammed on the control panel. I will not be lectured by humans or questioned by my own officers. We go to Vega as planned. Captain Jinwoo looked directly at her. Then I will say goodbye now, Commander. I hope I am wrong. I hope you prove me a fool. You already are a fool, Yuna replied. The screen went black. The bridge was silent. Lieutenant Minho walked to his station. His hand shook as he typed. Other officers looked at each other with worried eyes. They had heard the fear in the human captain's voice. They had seen the sadness in his eyes. But Commander Yuna felt only pride. She looked out at the stars ahead. The Vega sector waited for them. Soon, the Alterian flag would fly over 3 new worlds. The humans could keep their fears and their warnings. All ships, she announced over the fleet communication system, prepare for final jump to Vega sector. We make history today. 200 ships hummed with power. Thousands of Alterian families were aboard. Children played in the ship corridors. Parents dreamed of new homes on fresh planets. In the distance, the human ship Resilience watched silently. Captain Jinwoo stood on his bridge. His heart was heavy. He had tried to save them. But sometimes people had to learn the hard way. The stellar alignment was already beginning. In 3 days, the quantum storms would tear through the Vega sector, like angry beasts. And the proud Alterian fleet was flying straight into their jaws. Commander Yuna smiled as she gave the order to jump. She had refused the humans' advice. Soon, she would pay the price. The Alterian fleet jumped into the Vega sector like a pride of metal lions. 200 ships appeared in space at the same time. Their silver hulls gleamed in the light of distant stars. Commander Yuna watched from her bridge with satisfaction. All ships report successful jump, said Lieutenant Minho. His voice was steady, but his eyes still showed worry. No problems detected. Of course not, Yuna said proudly. Human fears are just that, fears. Look at this beautiful sector. 3 perfect planets waiting for us. Through the main screen she could see the 3 worlds. The first planet was blue and green, covered with oceans and forests. The second was smaller with red soil that would be perfect for growing food. The third was rich with metals that Alterian builders needed. Begin colony surveys, Yuna ordered. I want complete reports on all 3 planets within 2 days. The fleet spread out across the sector. Survey ships flew toward the planets. Science vessels began studying the local stars. Everything looked perfect. The human warnings seemed foolish now. For the first day, nothing went wrong. The planets were even better than they had hoped. The water was clean. The air was good to breathe. The soil was rich with nutrients. Families aboard the colony ships began making plans for their new homes. Yuna felt proud of her decision. She had been right to ignore the humans. Her people would have new worlds because she was brave enough to take them. But on the second day, strange things began to happen. Commander, called Officer Taewon from the navigation station. His blue skin looked pale. We have a problem. The Morning Star just reported something impossible. What kind of problem? Yuna asked. She was not worried yet. They say they arrived at coordinates 7 Alpha 9 before they left coordinates 6 Alpha 8, Taewon said slowly. Their ship computer shows they reached their destination 3 minutes before they started their journey. Yuna frowned. That's impossible. Check their computer systems. They must have made an error. We checked, Commander. Their systems are working perfectly, but the timestamps don't make sense. Lieutenant Minho walked over to look at the data. His face grew serious. Commander, this looks like temporal displacement. Time is moving strangely here. Don't be ridiculous, Yuna snapped. Time is time, it moves the same everywhere. But more reports came in. The survey ship Explorer sent a message saying they had scanned the same asteroid field 3 times. But each time the asteroids were in different places. Another ship, the Pioneer, reported that their chronometers were running backward. Yuna felt the first touch of worry in her stomach, but she pushed it away. These are just technical problems. Our engineers will fix them. The problems got worse. On the third day, the cargo ship Prosperity sent a desperate message. "Help us!" the captain screamed over the communication channel. "We are stuck in some kind of loop. We keep reliving the same 10 minutes over and over. Every time we try to break free, we end up back where we started." Yuna stared at the communication screen. The captain's face showed pure terror. Behind him, she could see his crew running around in panic. "That's impossible," she whispered. But even as she said it, she watched the captain's message repeat itself. The same words, the same expressions, the same movements, like watching a video that played the same scene again and again. Lieutenant Minho's hands were shaking now. "Commander, I think we should contact the humans. They warned us about this." "No," Yuna shouted. "We are Alterians. We solve our own problems. Send a science team to help the Prosperity." The science team never reached the trapped ship. As they got close, they reported seeing strange ripples in space. The stars seemed to bend and twist. Then their ship vanished from all sensors. More ships began reporting problems. The New Dawn said their engines were working, but they were not moving forward. They were stuck in one spot like a fly in invisible honey. The Starseeker reported that they could see themselves from the outside, as if they were looking at their own ship from space. Fear spread through the fleet like a disease. Captains sent worried messages to Commander Yuna. Families asked when they could return home. Children cried as they felt the ship shaking for no reason. That night, when most of the crew was asleep, Lieutenant Minho made a secret call to the human ship Resilience. Captain Jinwoo's tired face appeared on the small screen in Minho's quarters. "Captain, this is Lieutenant Minho of the Alterian fleet. We need help." Jinwoo's expression was sad but not surprised. "The quantum storms have started, haven't they?" "Yes," Minho said quietly. "Ships are getting trapped. Time is acting strangely. We don't understand what's happening." "I tried to warn your commander," Jinwoo said. "The quantum storms create pockets where space and time break down. Ships get caught in temporal loops. Some get lost in dimensional tiers. Can you help us?" Minho asked. His pride as an Alterian was gone. Only fear remained. "We can try," Jinwoo said. "But your commander would have to ask for help. She would have to admit that human knowledge has value." Minho's heart sank. He knew Commander Yuna would never do that. She was too proud. "I'll try to convince her," he said. "You better hurry," Captain Jinwoo replied. "The storms are getting stronger. Soon, your entire fleet will be trapped." The call ended just as the door to Minho's quarters opened. "Commander," Yuna stood there, her forearms crossed over her chest. Her eyes burned with anger. "Who were you talking to, Lieutenant?" Minho's blood turned cold. "Commander, I can explain. You were talking to the humans," she accused. "You went behind my back to contact those inferior creatures. Commander, they can help us. They understand these storms." Yuna stepped into the room. Her voice was deadly, quiet. "We do not need help from humans. We are Alterians. We are superior. But the ships that are trapped will be freed by Alterian science and Alterian technology." Yuna cut him off. "Not by human superstition." She moved to the communication panel and destroyed it with one powerful blow from her fist. Sparks flew across the room. "If you contact the humans again, I will have you arrested for treason," she warned. As she left, Minho sat on his bed with his head in his hands. Outside his window, he could see more ships disappearing into the strange ripples of space. The Waimao quantum storms were getting stronger, and Commander Yuna was still too proud to ask for help. On the fourth day, the stars aligned. Commander Yuna stood on her bridge, watching the sensor readings with growing horror. The 3 suns of the Vega system had moved into a perfect line. As they aligned, space itself began to crack. "Commander!" Officer Taewon shouted from his station. "Massive energy readings across the entire sector. Something big is happening." The main screen showed space twisting like water. Huge tears opened in the darkness between stars. Purple lightning jumped from one rift to another. The quantum storms had arrived with the force of a cosmic hurricane. All ships maintain formation, Una ordered, but her voice shook with fear she could no longer hide. It was too late. The storms hit the Alterian fleet like a giant fist. The first wave sent shockwaves through every ship. The lights flickered. The gravity failed for several seconds. Alterian. Officers floated helplessly in the air before crashing back down. "Hull breach on deck 7, someone screamed. "Navigation systems are going crazy," called another voice. "The stars are moving," yelled Officer Taewon. "They're spinning around us like a wheel." Through the chaos, Una watched her perfect fleet fall apart. Ships that tried to move forward went backward instead. Vessels that wanted to turn left spun right. The cargo ship Harmony tried to escape the sector but appeared on the other side, flying toward the center. "Commander," Lieutenant Minho called out. "The Silver Wings just sent a distress signal. They say they're falling into a black hole that isn't there." On the communication screen, Captain Bora of the Silver Wings appeared. Her face was white with terror. "Commander Una, help us. We can see a black hole pulling us in, but our sensors say there's nothing there. We're being pulled toward empty space." The screen went black. The Silver Wings vanished from all sensors. 1,500 people, Minho whispered. Gone. More ships disappeared. The bright future sent one last message. "We're stuck in a time bubble. Outside our ship, everything is frozen. Help us." Then silence. The colony ship New Home reported something even stranger. "Commander, we're flying through our own past. We can see ourselves arriving in the sector yesterday, but we're also seeing our future. We're watching ourselves die." Una grabbed the communication panel. "That's impossible." "Look at your sensors, Commander," came the reply. "We're broadcasting our position from 3 different times at once." She looked. The sensors showed the New Home in 3 places. 1 signal was from yesterday. 1 was from now. 1 was from tomorrow. But the tomorrow signal was weak and fading. "All ships, emergency retreat," Una ordered. "Leave the sector immediately." But the quantum storms had made retreat impossible. Ships that tried to flee found themselves flying deeper into the sector. The science vessel Discovery attempted to jump away but jumped into solid rock instead. Half the ship was buried inside an asteroid. "Commander," said Officer Taewon, "we're receiving a message from the Morning Star, but this is strange. They sent this message 3 hours ago, but we're receiving it now for the first time." The message played. It was Captain Dongho, looking panicked. "Commander, we've discovered something terrible. The quantum storms don't just trap ships. They trap time itself. We've been flying in circles for days, but our chronometers say only minutes have passed. We're aging while time stands still. Help us." The message repeated. The same words, the same panic, the same fear, over and over again. "How long has the Morning Star been sending that message?" Una asked. "According to our records, 3 hours, Taewon replied. "But according to their ship's log, they've been sending it for 6 days. Una felt cold terror creeping up her spine. The human captain had been right. These were not normal storms. They were tears in the fabric of reality itself. "Commander," Minho said quietly, "we need to contact the humans. They're the only ones who understand this." "No," Una said, but her voice was weak. "We can solve this. We have to solve this." As if the universe wanted to mock her, another wave of quantum energy crashed over the fleet. This time, it hit the Sovereignty directly. The ship shook like a leaf in a hurricane. The lights went out. In the darkness, Una heard her crew screaming. When the emergency lights came on, she saw something that made her blood freeze. Half her bridge crew was gone. Not dead. Gone. Their chairs were empty. Their stations were running themselves. But she could hear their voices echoing from somewhere else. "Commander, where are we?" came Officer Taewon's voice from the air. "We can see you, but you can't see us. We're trapped in some kind of shadow space." Una spun around. She could hear him, but she couldn't see him anywhere. "The quantum storm separated us. Minho said, his face pale. They're in the same place, but in a different dimension. Get them back, Yuna ordered. How? Minho asked. Our technology can't reach across dimensional barriers. Another ship vanished from the sensors. Then another. The colony ship Bright Tomorrow split in half, but both halves continued flying as if nothing had happened. Each half had the same crew, the same families, but neither half could see the other. Status report, Yuna demanded. Lieutenant Minho checked. His panels. His hands were shaking badly now. 47 ships are completely lost. 63 are trapped in time loops. 34 are split across multiple dimensions. 29 are aging rapidly while time moves backward around them. And the rest? Trying not to panic, Minho said simply. Commander Yuna looked out at the chaos around her. Her pride had led 200 ships into hell. Thousands of families were trapped in nightmares that science couldn't explain. Children were crying for parents who existed yesterday but not today. Soldiers were fighting, battles that happen tomorrow but not now. Commander, came a weak signal from the cargo ship Prosperity. We've been stuck in our 10-minute loop for what feels like months. Please, we're going insane. Every 10 minutes we forget what happened, but we remember the fear. Help us. Please help us. Yuna closed her eyes. Around her, the quantum storms raged stronger. More ships disappeared. More people were lost to the tears in space and time. The human captain had warned her. He had tried to save them, but she had been too proud to listen. Now her people were paying the price for her arrogance. And the storms were far from over. Commander Yuna sat in her command chair staring at the chaos outside. Her fleet was dying. Ships vanished every few minutes. The quantum storms grew stronger with each passing hour. Her advanced technology was useless against the twisted laws of physics in this nightmare sector. Commander, Lieutenant Minho said softly, we have lost contact with 89 ships. The Golden Dawn just split into 7 different versions of itself. Each one thinks it's the real ship. Yuna said nothing. Her pride felt like poison in her chest. The colony ship Hope is sending a message, Minho continued. The families aboard are asking when they can go home. The children are scared. They don't understand why their parents keep disappearing and reappearing. Still, Yuna remained silent. She watched another ship, the Star Dancer, stretch like rubber before snapping back to normal size. The crew inside were probably experiencing months of time in just seconds. Commander, Minho said, his voice breaking. Please, we need help. The humans offered help. Captain Jinwoo said they could guide us out. No, Yuna whispered. But her voice had no strength left. Why? Minho asked. Why won't you contact them? People are dying. Yuna looked at him with tired eyes. Because I was wrong. And if I ask for their help, everyone will know I was wrong. The Altarian Council will know. History will remember that I led our people into disaster. History will remember that you saved them, Minho said firmly, but only if you act now. Another wave of quantum energy swept through the sector. This time it hit a cluster of civilian ships. The transport family dream simply stopped existing. One moment it was there with 3,000 colonists aboard. The next moment, empty space. That's it, Minho said. He walked to the communication panel. I'm calling the humans. Lieutenant, I order you to stop, Yuna shouted. No, Minho said, his finger hovering over the controls. I've watched too many people die because of pride. Either you make the call, or I will. Yuna stared at him. In his young face, she saw the determination she had lost. She saw the courage to do what was right instead of what was easy. Fine, she said quietly. Make the call. The screen flickered to life. Captain Jinwoo appeared, looking older and more tired than before. Behind him stood Officer Hyun, the human scientist. Commander Yuna, Jinwoo said simply. I was wondering when you would call. Captain, Yuna began, then stopped. The words stuck in her throat. How do you ask for help from someone you insulted? How do you admit you were completely wrong? We need your help, she said finally. My fleet is trapped. My people are dying. I was wrong to ignore your warning. Jinwoo's expression softened. Commander, there's no shame in asking for help. We've all made mistakes in space. The important thing is learning from them. Can you save my ships? Yuna asked. Some of them, Haeun said, stepping forward. But you must do exactly what we tell you. No questions, no arguments. Can you do that? Yuna felt her pride fighting against the words, but she looked at her sensor readings. More ships were disappearing. More people were dying. Yes, she said. I'll do whatever you say. Good, Haeun said. First, turn off all your quantum shields. I know that sounds dangerous, but the shields are making the storms worse. Turn off our shields? Yuna asked. But without shields, the radiation will— No questions, Minho reminded her gently. Yuna took a deep breath. All ships, lower quantum, shields immediately. Commander, are you sure? Came worried voices from her captains. Do it, she ordered. One by one, the ships lowered their shields. To Yuna's surprise, the wild energy readings around them began to calm down slightly. Next, Haeun continued, you need to power down your navigation computers. Use manual controls only. Manual controls? Yuna couldn't hide her shock. Our ships are too big for manual control. We need computers to fly them. Your computers are trying to make sense of impossible physics, Jinwoo explained. They're fighting against the quantum storms instead of working with them. Trust your instincts, not your machines. This was the hardest thing Yuna had ever been asked to do. Alterian ships had used computer navigation for thousands of years. Flying manually was like asking her to breathe underwater. But she gave the order. Now, Haeun said, I'm going to give you a flight path. It will look wrong. It will feel wrong. Your training will tell you it's impossible, but you must follow it exactly. She began reading coordinates. The path made no sense. It would take them toward the strongest part of the storms. It would have them flying in spirals and loops. It went against everything Yuna knew about space travel. This is crazy, she whispered. It's called quantum surfing, Jinwoo said. Instead of fighting the storms, we ride them. We use their own energy to carry us to safety. I don't understand, Yuna admitted. You don't need to understand, Haeun said kindly. You just need to trust us. Trust. The word felt strange to Yuna. She had never trusted anyone except herself. She had believed that Alterian technology was always the answer. But now, she had to trust humans with technology that seemed primitive and methods that seemed impossible. All ships, she announced over the fleet communication system, follow the sovereignty exactly. Copy every move we make. Do not use your computers. Fly by sight and instinct only. Commander, that's suicide, came the reply from Captain Sehun of the Bright Star. Captain, Yuna said firmly, I've made enough mistakes. Now we do this the human way. She placed her 4 hands on the manual controls. The ship felt different without computer assistance. It was like riding a wild animal instead of driving a machine. Ready, Commander? Haeun asked. Yuna nodded. Ready. Then follow my voice. Turn 15 degrees to port. Ignore what your eyes tell you. Trust the path. Yuna turned the ship. Immediately, every instinct screamed that she was making a mistake. The ship was heading straight for a wall of twisted space-time. It looked like certain death. But she kept flying. And slowly, amazingly, the ship began to slide through the quantum storm like a fish swimming upstream. For 6 hours, Commander Yuna followed Officer Haeun's voice through the quantum maze. Her hands ached from gripping the manual controls. Her eyes burned from staring at impossible sights. Space twisted around them like a living thing. Turn 30 degrees down, Haeun's calm voice guided her. Ignore the purple lightning ahead. It cannot hurt you if you stay on this path. Yuna turned the ship downward. The purple lightning crackled around them, but it slid off the hull like water. Behind her, 93 ships followed in a long line. Each one copied her movements. Exactly. Now rise up and loop to the right, Haeun continued. Trust me. The gravity well you see is not real. Yuna pulled up and curved right. Her stomach told her they were falling into a massive gravity well that would crush them. But the ship rose smoothly, defying what her eyes showed her. You're doing perfectly, Captain Jinwoo said over the communication channel. Just a little further. Ship by ship, the Alterian fleet learned to surf the quantum storms. They stopped, fighting against the impossible physics, and started moving with them. Like dancers learning a difficult dance, they found the rhythm of the twisted space-time. "Commander," Lieutenant Minho said quietly, "we're actually doing it. We're escaping." Yuna nodded but said nothing. Her heart was too heavy for celebration. Yes, they were escaping. But not all of them. "Final turn," Haeun announced. "Sharp left, and then straight ahead. You'll see normal space in a few minutes." Yuna made the last turn. Suddenly, the stars stopped spinning. Space looked normal again. The terrible energy readings disappeared from her sensors. They were out of the quantum storm zone. "All ships report status," she ordered. One by one, her captains reported in. The survivors had made it. But as Yuna listened to the list, her heart broke a little more with each missing name. The Silver Wings, gone. The Bright Future, gone. The Family Dream, gone. The Morning Star, still trapped in its endless message loop. The New Home, lost somewhere in the twisted timelines. Lieutenant Minho finished counting. 153 ships made it out, Commander. 47 ships are lost. That's over 10,000 people. 10,000 people. 10,000 families who trusted her to lead them to a new home. 10,000 lives lost because she was too proud to listen to a human warning. "Commander Yuna," Captain Jinwoo's voice came over the communication system. "You did well. Your people are safe now." "Not all of them," Yuna said quietly. "I know," Jinwoo replied. "But you saved most of them. That's what matters." "Is there any way to get the others back?" she asked. Officer Haeun appeared on the screen. Her face showed sadness. "Some of them, maybe. But it will take time. We'll need to wait for the storms to calm down. Then we can try rescue missions." "How long?" "Months," Haeun said honestly. "Maybe years. And even then, we might not be able to reach all of them." Yuna closed her eyes. Years. Some of her people would be trapped in those time loops and dimensional pockets for years. Others might be lost forever. "Captain Jinwoo," she said, opening her eyes, "I owe you an apology. I called you and your people inferior. I laughed at your warnings. I was wrong about everything." "Commander," Jinwoo said gently, "we've all been wrong before. The important thing is that you learned from it. But people died because of my mistakes." "People die in space," Jinwoo said sadly. "It's dangerous out here. The best we can do is learn from every mistake so they don't happen again." Over the next few days, the surviving Alterian fleet regrouped. Medical teams treated the injured. Engineers repaired damaged ships. Families mourned the lost ones. Commander Yuna walked through the corridors of her ship. Everywhere she went, she saw the faces of her people. Some looked at her with anger, others with disappointment. A few still showed respect, but it was different now. It was tempered with caution. She found Lieutenant Minho in the ship's memorial room. He was placing flowers before a wall covered with names. All the people they had lost. 10,347, he said without turning around. "That's how many people were on the lost ships." "I know," Yuna said quietly. "Their families want to know if we'll try to rescue them." "We will," Yuna promised. "Whatever it takes, however long it takes." Minho turned to face her. "The Alterian Council sent a message. They want you to return home immediately for questioning." Yuna nodded. She had expected this. "Will you take command of the rescue efforts?" "If you want me to," Minho said. "But Commander, what will you tell the Council?" Yuna thought for a moment. "The truth. That I was too proud to listen to good advice. That my arrogance cost thousands of lives. That humans know things we don't know. That we need to work together instead of thinking we're better than everyone else." 3 months later, Commander Yuna stood before the Alterian High Council. The great chamber was filled with the most important leaders of her people. Their purple faces showed disappointment and anger. "Commander Yuna," said Counselor Sunwoo, the eldest member. You led our largest colonization mission into disaster. Thousands are dead or missing. Explain yourself. Yuna stood straight and spoke clearly. Honored counselors, I failed because I believed we were superior to all other races. I thought our technology could solve any problem. I was wrong. You ignored warnings from humans, accused Counselor Jiwan. Yes, Yuna said simply. Captain, Jinwu tried to save my fleet. I refused to listen because I thought humans were beneath us. I was wrong about that too. What do you recommend? Asked Counselor Sunwoo. Work with the humans, Yuna said firmly. Share knowledge, learn from each other. They saved most of my fleet when our technology failed completely. The council talked, among themselves for a long time. Finally, Counselor Sunwoo spoke. Commander Yuna, you are relieved of command. However, we are creating a new position, Ambassador for Interspecies Cooperation. You will work with humans and other races to prevent future disasters. Do you accept? Yes, Yuna said. It's the least I can do. 1 year later, Yuna stood on the bridge of a joint human-Alterian rescue ship. Beside her, Captain Jinwoo studied the sensor readings from the Vega sector. The storms are weaker now, he said. We might be able to reach the Morning Star today. After all this time, will the crew still be alive? Yuna asked. In their time loop, only 10 minutes have passed, Officer Heian explained. They'll be confused, but alive. As they entered the calmer parts of the quantum storm zone, Yuna watched human and Alterian crew members working together. They had learned to combine human intuition with Alterian technology. Together they were stronger than either race alone. Contact, called the communications officer. We're receiving the distress signal from the Morning Star. Still the same. Message? Yuna asked. Yes, but now we can answer it. Yuna smiled sadly. They would save this ship today, maybe others tomorrow. But 47 ships would never come home. 10,000 people were gone forever because she had been too proud to listen. She would carry that weight for the rest of her life, but she would also carry the knowledge that pride was the most dangerous enemy in the galaxy, more dangerous than quantum storms, more deadly than black holes. Pride had taught her the hardest lesson of all, that being wrong was not the worst thing that could happen to a leader. Being too proud to admit it was.